Wasn't that a great song? So what he said to do is we're going to add or subtract the x term. In this case, the x term is 3x. Since it's positive, we're going to minus 3x. And then, so then we'll have negative 5y is equal to negative 3x. Since 25 is positive, I put plus 25. And then, so add or subtract the x term, then divide by the coefficient of y, which is negative 5. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 5. So notice it's this one, this part, and this part by negative 5. So those would divide cancel to be 1. So y is equal to, the negative divided by negative is positive, and I'm just going to leave it as a fraction, negative 3/5 x. And then 25 divided by negative 5 is negative 5. So this is now in slope-intercept form. So do the same thing on the next ones. Add or subtract the x term, then divide by the coefficient of y. Add or subtract the x term, then divide by the coefficient of y. Let's do number 11 together. So you can do add x. So negative 8y is equal to x plus 96. And then I divide by negative 8 because that's the coefficient of y. So then y is equal to negative 1/8 x, because 8 divided by negative x divided by negative 8 is negative 1/8 x. And then 96 divided by 8 is negative 12. Yeah, negative 12. So there's the slope-intercept form. So if you're in honors, do the rest. If you're in regular, pick any two. The next part is just going backwards from that. So the song, let's go back to the song. What the song said, step 1 is to add or subtract the x term. And then step 2 said divide by the coefficient of y. So we're going to go backwards. We're going to multiply everything by the coefficient of y, which there won't be anything until later. We'll see that. And then we're going to also do this. So let's just look at this. So this is what they did. So they had the equation, and we want the standard form it goes like this, ax plus by equals c. We want the number, we want this number, the a and the b, we want those to be integers. In other words, no fractions or decimals. So we go like this. I want the x on that side. So right now it's positive x, and so they minus x, 5x from both sides. And then just double check. Negative 5 is an integer. That would be a 1 right there. That's an integer, and that's 8. So you're done. Same thing with this one. It's going to be very easy. You're just going to move the 4x over, and then you're done. But then when it comes to problems like number 15, actually let's do 18. Number 18. So we're going to move this x part over. So I'm going to subtract 3/4 x from both sides. Then the x goes first, so those would cancel right here. Then we'd have negative 3/4 x plus y equals 10. So I just moved the x part over. But now there's this number that's underneath x, which makes it a fraction. So what I want to do is I'm going to multiply everything here by whatever that number is. So 4 times by that's going to cancel out the 4's. 4 times that's going to give me 4y, and then I have to go all the way over here and times this by 4 as well. So those 4's will cancel out, so I'll have negative 3x. 4 times y is 4y, and then 4 times by 10 is 40. So that is the answer. So you're going to multiply by whatever's on the bottom of the x part. So, yeah, you need to do more of those. If you're in regular, you'll do, actually, I want everybody to do all of these. So this section, you're going to do all, because they're very important. Do all. Okay, next part. So pause the video if you need to. The next part, these are all a whole lot of variables, and it will tell you what variable you need to solve for. So this one said that a is equal to 1/2 bh, and it wanted us to solve for h. This is how I find it makes it easiest, is you're going to put an arrow to the one that you're supposed to solve by, and then do everything the furthest away from that letter first, back in. So how, let's see, so we have the h. Furthest away from the h on this side is the 1/2. To undo 1/2, I would multiply both sides by 2, right? So those would cancel. Then I'd have 2a is equal to b times by h. Then to get rid of b, I would divide by b. And since we don't know what a or b are, then those b's would cancel out, divide, cancel. And so then we'd have 2a over b, we don't know what numbers those are, and that's okay, is equal to h. So that's how you're going to do those. So we'll do this one. We want to solve this one for b1. So b1 is what we want to solve for. So here's everything on that side. So here's the b1. We have a 1/2 here. We have an h there. They're pretty far away from this b1. b2 plus b2 looks like it's closest. So first I'm going to divide by the h to get rid of it. So divide by h. I don't know what a is. I don't know what h is. So I just have to leave them. A over h is equal to 1/2 times by b1 plus b2, because that's everything that was left over. Now, furthest away from this b1 is the 1/2, because this stuff is in parentheses. So to get rid of the 1/2, I would times by 2 and times this side by 2. So these 2's are going to cancel. And again, I still don't know what a and h are, so we leave them, but it's going to have a 2 in front. So 2a over h is equal to b1 plus b2. Since there's nothing being multiplied on the outside besides 1, we can just leave, we can leave the parentheses off. I still want to get b1, so I'm going to have to just simply subtract b2. Subtract b2. So then what's left is this side, which I can write 2a over h minus b2 is equal to b1. All of these problems are very different, and that's just simply how it is, which makes this lesson probably one of the most difficult lessons. But the main thing that you need to focus on, so tips that I have, is point a letter to the one that you want to get, then start working outside from that side, outside in, and undo what's there and work out. So they're all different. I'm going to put some other links in this video to Khan Academy videos that help with this and other videos that help with this, because all the problems are different, and there's not really, other than saying point an arrow to what you want to work on, what you want to solve for. So this said solve for b1, and then work outside in. That's really the best help that I can give you on these. And you need to do all of them. So you need to do all of them 19 through 24, because they're different enough. You need practice on it all.